Students, welcome to NCERT CBSE Class 10, subject Science and the chapter Life Processes. So, in this chapter, we have already seen about 9 parts. So, this is the final and 10th part. In previous parts, we have seen about nutrition in animals and plants, especially in human beings, respiration in animals and plants, and that is also especially in human beings. Then, transportation in plants, especially circulation in human beings, and also transportation in plants. Now we are going to see another important life process in the part 10th, that is excretion. About excretion in human beings as well as plants we are going to see about in this part. So students, now we are going to see another important life process, that is excretion. So excretion means the process of removal of the harmful metabolic waste from the body is called as what? Excretion. So why they are called as what? Metabolic waste? Because in our body there are different metabolic activities are taking place. In those activities there are certain harmful products are going to be formed. Those harmful products are to be removed from our body, otherwise they will cause harmful to our body organs. Hence, they should be removed from our body. That process is called as what? Excretion. So, the excretory system of human beings includes, this is the excretory system which is going to be involved in the human excretion. Okay, that includes a pair of kidneys. These are dark chocolate colored bean shaped structures. Those are called as what? Kidneys. They are in two in number, hence there is a pair of kidneys are involved in the excretion process in human beings. Then a urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a bag like structure, elastic bag like structure, so that stores the urine. That is called as what? Urinary bladder. So then there is a pair of ureters. So ureters are the pipe like structures which will bring the urine from our kidneys to urinary bladder. Okay, there should be a pair of ureters on the right side, and as well as left side there is a pair of ureters are involved. Then there is a urethra. Urethra is the small opening which is going to be opening to the outside, through which we are going to be expelling or excreting urine to the environment. That is called as what? Urethra. Urethra is a small opening which is present on the in front of the urinary bladder, which will open outside to the environment. Through that we are going to be excreting urine to the environment. So then there should be a inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava, it is called as what? The blue colored pipe like structure, or artery which is called as what? Blood vessel which is called as what? Inferior vena cava. Then there is aorta is there, that will bring oxygenated blood to the kidney, and inferior vena cava will bring deoxygenated blood to the kidney. Okay, so these are different parts of our excretory system or human excretory system, the organs which are involved in the human excretory system. In examination they are also asked the write a neat label diagram of human excretory system. Okay, so you should label all these parts. Okay, you are asked for 3 marks for this. So students, now we are going to learn about the nephron. Nephrons, I have already told that each kidney contains innumerous numbers of small functional and structural units. Those are called as what? Nephrons. So now we are going to know about what are nephrons, and we are going to know about the complete detailed structure of nephron. So each kidney has a large number of filtration units called nephrons. So nephrons are the filtration units which are present in the each kidney. They are large in number. So we can give the definition of nephrons as follows. Nephrons are the structural and functional units of the kidneys. Nephrons are the structural and functional units of the kidneys which are present inside the kidneys. Okay, why they are called as well structural and functional units? Because nephrons are the responsible for the filtration of blood, and also complete kidney is occupied by large number of nephrons. Hence nephrons are the structural and functional units of the kidneys. So now we are going to know about this. This is the structure of nephron. What you are seeing, this is a tube like almond colored or light yellow colored structure, that is called as what? Nephron. Okay, so from here to this is the collecting duct. It is not a part of what? Nephron. So nephron starts from here. So it is tubular structure. It is a tubular structure. At one end it is going to be cup shaped. Okay, cup shaped collecting duct is there at one end of the nephron. So this complete structure is called as what? Nephron. So now we are going to see about the structure of nephron. Each nephron consists of a tubule which is connected to a cup-shaped collecting duct at one end. This cup-shaped structure is called as what? Bowman's capsule. Remember. So this cup-shaped structure which is present at one end of the nephron. This is nephron. So it is a cup-shaped structure is present at one end of the nephron. This cup-shaped structure is called as what? Bowman's capsule. It is a collecting duct. Why it is called as collecting duct? Bowman capsule is called as what? Collecting duct, because it receives the blood from different parts of our body. So hence it is called as what? Collecting duct. Okay. So now next we are going to know about, there are bunch of capillaries are present inside the cup shaped Bowman's capsule. So this is the cup shaped Bowman's capsule. Here you are observing that is light pink colored structures. Those are called as what? Bunch of capillaries. Bunch of capillaries are present. So those bunch of capillaries are called as what? Glomerulus. So these glomerulus will filter the blood in high pressure in the Bowman's capsule. Okay. So this Bowman's capsule, inside the Bowman's capsule, the inner wall contains minute pores, very minute pores are present. Okay. Those pores will help in the filtration of what? Our blood. So this is about some important points related to the structure of nephron. Yet not completed. Next we are going to see about another structures we are going to see about nephrons are. So here the blood is entering inside the what? Bowman's capsule. The blood is, this is the arrow mark which is going to be showing entering inside the what? Bowman's capsule. So these are called as what? Afferent arteries. These are afferent arteries. Remember students, so these afferent and efferent arteries are very important. Afferent arteries will bring the blood from different parts of our body and pour it into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, with the help of glomerulus. So efferent arteries are the blood vessels which will carry the filtered blood from glomerulus or Bowman's capsule to what? Our lungs. Okay, so there are two types of renal arteries are entering inside each Bowman capsule. Those are afferent arteries and efferent arteries. Remember students, how you have to remember them? Afferent means entering inside, efferent means exiting. Okay, so afferent arteries will bring the waste substance containing, waste material containing blood inside the Bowman's capsule, and after the filtration of that blood, efferent arteries will carry the pure blood or filtered blood to our what? Lungs for oxygenation. So this is about what? This is about the afferent and efferent arteries. Okay. So the blood enters into the glomerulus through afferent arterioles of renal artery and leaves the glomerulus through efferent arterioles. There are two types of arterioles are present, afferent as well as efferent. Next, below the Bowman's capsule, the nephron continues as a tubular structure. Below this Bowman's capsule, The nephron continues as a tubular structure. Okay. So and finally joins to the collecting duct. After passing it like a tubular structure, finally it is going to be joining to what? Where it is going to be joining to the collecting duct. So here you are observing it is like a branch of tree. So here different nephrons are going to be joining from different parts of our kidney. So this is called as what? Collecting duct. Collecting duct mainly collects the filtration. Okay, filtration, that is urine. So the tubular part is having U-shaped turn at the some point, which is called as what? Henle's loop. In this turn or tubular structure of nephron, at some point it is going to be U-shaped structure. This U-shaped structure is called as what? Henle's loop. Remember students, what is Henle's loop? It is a tubular part of the nephron where it is having U-shaped turn. So at some point which is called as what? Henle's loop. Okay. So Henle's loop also plays a vital role in the formation of urine or filtration of blood. Okay. So this is about the structure of what? Nephron. They will ask it for 4 marks or 3 marks. Only if they ask for write the structure of nephron, they will ask it for 3 marks. If they ask along with the diagram, write a neat label diagram and explain the structure of nephron, means they will ask it for 4 or 5 marks. Okay. So sometimes the diagram is also going to be asked for 3 marks. Write a neat label diagram of nephron. So these two diagrams are important in excretion. The excretory system of human beings, and this is the structure of nephron. So now we are going to see the mechanism of urine formation in our kidneys or nephron. How the urine is going to be formed in our nephron or kidneys. So the urine formation involves 3 important steps. The 3 important steps are involved in the formation of urine. First one is glomerular filtration. So these are the glomerulus. These are bunch-like capillaries which are present inside the Bowman capsule. They will play vital role in the glomerular filtration. Hence the name glomerular filtration. Blood is filtered from the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule of the nephron with high pressure. This filtrate passes through the tubule of the nephron. After filtration in the glomerulus through the Bowman's capsule pores, minute pores are present on the inner side of the Bowman's capsule. Through that pores, the blood is filtered into the tubule. So this is called as a tubule. So when the filtrate comes to the tubule, the second step is going to be involved in the formation of urine. So remember, the first step is glomerular filtration. What happens in the glomerular filtration? The blood is filtered with high pressure from the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule of the nephron. That is called as what? Glomerular filtration. So this after filtration, this filtrate passes through the tubules of the nephron. These are the tubules. Okay, tubules of the nephron. So after filtration, the filtrate passes into the what? This tubule. So students, after glomerular filtration, next step in the urine formation or mechanism of urine formation is tubular reabsorption. Okay. So when the filtrate enters inside the tubule of what? Nephron. So these tubules are surrounded with large number of blood capillaries. These blood capillaries will reabsorb the useful materials like glucose, amino acid, and some salts or important minerals from this filtrate. That is called as what? Glomerular, that is a tubular reabsorption. So now useful substances from the filtrate like glucose, amino acids, etc. are reabsorbed by the capillaries surrounding the nephron into the blood. So these are the blood capillaries which are going to be surrounding the whole nephron. So not only in this place, the whole nephron is going to be surrounded by capillaries. Those capillaries will absorb the useful substances like glucose, amino acids, potassium, then sodium. All these minerals are also absorbed from the blood capillaries. That absorption is called as what? Tubular reabsorption. After tubular reabsorption, finally the filtrate is called as what? Urine. So that urine will enter inside the collecting duct. From there are large number of collecting ducts are also present inside the kidney. So all these collecting ducts are going to be connected to ureters. From ureters, the urine is going to be collected in the urinary bladder. From urinary bladder, it is going to be expelled through the environment or to the external environment through urethra. Okay. So this is second step. Then third step is secretion. So what is meant by secretion? Urea, extra water and salts are secreted into the tubule which opens into the collecting duct and then into the ureter. So urea, from after the reabsorption from the filtrate, the remaining liquid is called as what? Urine. That urine will contain urea, extra water and some salts. So that are going to be secreted into the tubule. Here tubule is present. From this tubule they are going to be secreted urea, extra water and some salts. So they are secreted into the collecting duct. From this collecting duct they are going to be entering into the ureter. From ureter they are going to be entering inside the urinary bladder. So from urinary bladder it is going to be expelled or excreted outside the environment. Okay. So this is about the three steps which are involved in the formation of urine in the human beings. So next we are going to know about hemodialysis. What is meant by hemodialysis? Suppose think that if somebody are having kidney failure, so then they are not going to be dying suddenly. So if the one kidney is failed, the human being will survive with another kidney. Okay, if both kidneys are failed, then those persons are subjected to dialysis. So what is meant by hemodialysis? The process of purifying blood by an artificial kidney. So dialysis are called as what? Artificial kidneys. Okay, they are present in the hospitals. So for a day, a human blood is going to be filtered 3 or 4 times. So for each time, they are going to be taking 5 to 10,000 for dialysis. Okay, for a day, for if they are taking 10,000, then it is going to be 3 times. If they have done minimum 3 times, it is going to be 30,000 per day. So for the purification of our blood, if those sir, if what happens if the blood is not filtered by the artificial kidneys or dialysis, if they are not filtered, so harmful products like urea, uric acid, and some salts are going to be stored in our body. Those will harmful to our other organs also. Hence, they should be removed from our body. So, hemodialysis is the process of purifying blood by an artificial kidney. It is meant for kidney failure patients. It is only for kidney failure patients. Okay. So, have you seen in the hospital like this? This is the instrument. So, which is connected to our arteries and veins. So, through these arteries and veins, the blood is going to be entering inside the dialysis unit. So this dialysis unit will filter the blood like our nephrons. So it is artificial nephron. Okay, it is filtering the blood like our nephrons. Okay, and for creating the urine. So that urine will collected in a bag. Okay, so this is artificial formation of urine, that is called as a hemodialysis. The process of purifying blood by an artificial kidney is called as what? Hemodialysis. It is meant for kidney failure patients only. Okay, so this is about the excretion in human beings. So students, now we are going to see excretion in plants. Like human beings and other animals, there are no special excretory organs are present in plants. So they are going to be excreting, but they are going to be excreting the harmful products which are harmful to their body. Okay. So supposing that in the photosynthesis, they are expelling oxygen. That means oxygen is not necessary for their body. So during the process of photosynthesis, they are going to be excreting what? Oxygen through the stomata. Okay. Then in transpiration also we have seen. In transpiration process, they are going to be expelling or removing excess water from their body. So that is called as a transpiration. Okay. So like that, other substances are also removed from the plant body with different processes. Now we are going to know how they are going to be excreting the different wasteful products which are produced in their body. So oxygen, a waste product of photosynthesis is released. It is waste for plants, but it is very useful for all other organisms. Okay, it is oxygen is called as what? Life gas. So it is going to be give life for other organisms. But it is useful, it is useless or waste product for plants. It is going to be what? Released through the process of photosynthesis in the from the stomata. Okay. Next, excess of water is removed by transpiration. During the process of transpiration, the excess water which is present in the body of plants is going to be removed through the process of transpiration in the form of what? Vapors. We have already seen this one. So next, Some waste products may get stored in the leaves which fall off. Okay, if some waste products or other waste products are there, they are going to be stored in the leaves. So every year the plants are going to be shedding their leaves. So and they are going to be developing new leaves. By shedding their leaves, once in a year they are going to be removing or excreting waste materials from their body in the form of what? Leaves. Okay, so the leaves will contain waste products for the plants. Okay, then many waste products are stored in vacuoles. There are vacuoles are present, food vacuoles are present in the plant cells. So many waste products are also stored in the vacuoles. From these vacuoles, they are going to be removed in different forms. Okay. Next, some waste products are stored as resins and gums in the old xylem. Okay. So in the plant body, xylem is present. Xylem is having four types of cells, parenchyma. Remember, xylem parenchyma is there. That xylem parenchyma is storing resins and gums. Okay, so those are going to be some waste products are expelled or excreted from the plant body in the forms of resins and gums. Those are going to be stored in old xylem. Okay, next, plants excrete some waste materials into the soil around them. So if the plants are present in the soil, through the roots also some important waste products are also going to be excreted. So now we are going to be using fruits, flowers, different types of flowers we are going to be using. So those will also contain some important wasteful products like alkaloids and glycolides. So those are waste products of plant body. They are going to be present in the what? Fruits and flowers. So now we are going to using them as what? Useful products. They contain useful nutrients which are essential for our body, but they are waste for plants. Okay, like these, the plants are going to be excreting different waste products from their body by different methods. Okay, so this completes the chapter life process. Very important chapter, students.